Hey guys, it's Jared from Razel's Revenge Gaming, giving you another video today. Um, like I said I would in my last video, about Destiny 2 and the Shadowkeep expansion. Um, I'm still a little frazzled from kind of being behind on packing and everything, but I also wanted to try and slow down a little bit, take a breath, um, beat the anxiety monster back a little bit, and go over some stuff that I have been taking mental note of with Destiny 2 and like the state thereof. I have taken notes and everything because I'm old school like that. You know, 36, be 37 this year. I think I'm the last generation that actually played outside and the first generation to figure the internet out. So I'm a weird mix of archaic BS and technology. It's a thing. I would like to start with saying that Shadowkeep is not that great of an expansion. It's good, but it's not like game changing, Forsaken level expansion goodness. Um, they have introduced the season pass leveling system like Fortnite has and everything. That's kind of cool. It gives you more of an incentive to grind. Um, but, all of it seems kind of weak if you compare it to Forsaken. Eh, it could have been way better. It's nowhere near as bad as the. Uh, Crap, what can I think of? The one with Mercury and. Jesus, it's completely escaping me. But yeah, the one that introduced Mercury and Osiris and all that. I can't think of the name of it. But we all know and hate that expansion because it, gave us the worst public event in history. Anywho, I'm rambling. So, I wrote down some stuff that I think are legitimate gripes about the current state of Destiny 2 and Shadowkeep. And I know everyone's like, oh god, another video about Destiny 2 and somebody complaining about it and yada yada yada. I mean, yeah. But if you play the game as much as I do, it's kind of a. It hits you harder than I guess most people who just kind of play it, drop it, and then wait for another expansion to come out, play it again, then drop it, so forth and so forth. Destiny is a daily grind of mine. It's something that I do in the morning when I'm sitting there drinking coffee, trying to wake up. I bounce around and do like, planetary bounties and stuff like that. And I just generally have fun with the game, farm resources and stuff like that. So it's pretty important to me. I enjoy running the crap out of strikes and just playing the game. The gunplay is awesome. It's overall smooth. It's probably hands down one of the better games I've played in my life as far as, I guess I'll say, the games as a service model goes. So there you go. And there's a crap ton of people that play Destiny now, so I can't be 100% wrong. But anyways, here goes a couple of the gripes that I have and have written down because, like I said, I'm a weird mixture of technology and archaic living. So, first one is that there's only a 10, like a plus 10 you get to your light level cap with every little release they've done so far with this season. Um, it's kind of cool because you can just keep going up, but it's also kind of weird. I guess because I'm just used to them like throwing, 50 plus levels at you all at one time. Um, you hit that 10 mark pretty easy though, especially if you're like me and you grind out the weeklies and you do the Prime Ingram thing and all that. You can max out that plus 10 in, I'd say at most, 2 weeks at most. So while it's cool to get that little bump, it's kind of like a meh thing. Secondly, would be that once you hit that cap, that soft cap, that's it. That's as far as you can go, unless you're part of like a clan or a fire team or something like that that can bounce around and do actual higher tier stuff, like to get pinnacle gear and all that, which is really shitty because it puts a damper on players like me, like solo guardians, that don't feel like they need to go to a third party app to find a group of people to go run stuff with, because we all know randos are extremely hit or miss. But anyways, once you hit that soft cap and you can't do pinnacle gear, you're done. Um, it makes finishing any weeklies that you have useless. You just, whatever powerful gear it gives you, you just break down. It makes getting prime engrams once you hit that level cap useless, because the prime engrams are based on your, I guess, gear cap, not that stupid artifact that they give you now that raises your light like artificially. So even if you have plus 15 levels with your artifact, which would put you at like a 975 now, you're still only really a 960 as far as the game is concerned. So your prime engrams drop at 960, boom, that's it, useless. Break it down for materials. Um, so that's kind of disheartening. I don't agree with it. It's pretty shitty. The other thing is, like I said, with the artifact, that's, I mean, sure, you get little perks and everything for leveling up the artifact, but it just seems cheap. Like, it's weird, especially if it doesn't count towards your overall, like, gear score. It's just something I feel they put in to give you something else to grind for, aside from just that horrible, horrible grind that was Destiny prior to. It was terrible as far as the grind goes. I actually stopped playing for a minute because the grind was just, there was no use. But another thing that I think Bungie probably needs to work towards, two things actually, would be your inventory. There's a lot of useless crap in your inventory now, as far as like the pure matter glass lenses goes, the rainmakers, a lot of those one-time use things. They don't. When the hell are you going to use them? When are you so hard up for glimmer that you're going to use the rainmaker or use that pure matter glass thing? Any of that crap, like, there's no sense in it even being a thing anymore. So they should probably just ditch it. Stuff like for the older activities, you know, the older expansions and all that, like the ghost fragments, the Rasputin armory codes, the black armory stuff, the blind well, and resonant stems, things like that. I know it'll be a pain in the ass for them, but they need to find some way to streamline those older activities to where that crap is either consolidated somehow or like no longer needed to, you know, access the games and all, and not the games, the activities that they're involved with. Something, I've got something dumb like 700 something resonant stems that I'm never gonna use anymore unless I get really bored one day. Um, so that would be kind of nice to see them just ditch, so it could just free room in your inventory. Another thing would be like world events and lost sectors. There was a point in time where farming world events actually kind of yielded some results, I guess, maybe. But lately, I've noticed that I can complete like heroic events, and I'll just get like planetary resources as a good job, and it's why the hell even do them? Like, why even have them in the game anymore if they're going to be pretty much useless? I mean, you know, when like now with the dawning going on, yeah, you get, I think it's like 5 dawning essences or whatever to cram into the oven to help bake stuff with. But I mean, past that, past an event going on like that, there's no use in them, dude. You might get a blue from doing a world event, and then there's also the very, very rare chance of getting an exotic. It's happened to me a couple of times, but it's really the only reason why I keep doing them, for that, 0.005% chance that it'll drop an exotic. But here's the kicker. The exotic that it's going to drop, are you going to use it? Do you need it? Will it even drop at your current light level? And with the RNG, is it going to drop with the stats that you want? Odds are probably not. So it's still useless. Um, so I'm kind of I'm confused as to why that's still a thing, but I understand it because it would take them a while to go in there and rework everything. So it's just one of those things. Same as chests. Like, who the hell really opens chests anymore? I'd do it just out of, like, I guess, gamer reflex, but it's kind of useless shit in there too. It might give me a legendary, and at this point in time, with all the crap that I have, they're useless. Just gets broken down for shards, and I keep no less than probably 1,500 legendary shards at any given time, and, you know, anywho, kind of preaching to the choir there, I suppose. And, lost sectors, really, I don't understand why they're still a thing. Um, when they had the faction wars going on, which, by the way, bring that shit back. Please bring that shit back. Give us something. Give us PvE players something to do. Because you've been trying, Bungie. I greatly appreciate it with, like, the Vex incursion and the sundial thing now. I mean, kudos. You're trying, so thank you. But unless it's some part of a quest or part of a daily bounty or something, lost sectors are useless. I never go in them. I don't know many people who do. It's a waste of time and effort. I mean, that once upon a time they meant something. They don't anymore. So they either need to be, like, revamped to where they're worth doing, or just ex-nade, man. Make room for something else. Also, I know that you guys have noticed that the lost sector thing and the chest, that goes for the high value targets too. They're pretty useless. It's just something that shows up. You're like, ooh, shiny, and you kill it, and you get nothing. You might get some world resources. You might get some glimmer. Ever so often, it might drop a legendary or a blue, but past that, they're useless. So woohoo. Now, where I was going with next, because I'm handy dandy list. The different tiers that I've seen with the equipment, I don't get that. It doesn't seem to matter. Like, when you run the sundial, for instance, and it says, like, tier 2 powerful, it still drops at 960. You would expect, like, a tier 2 to do, like, 965, maybe, or something like that, but no. So I don't know if it, like, breaks armor into, like, tier 1, weapons into tier 2 or something. I don't really know. It just seems like a waste of their time and effort if they wanted it to go somewhere with the different tiers. Because I think, like, once upon a time there was also, why do I keep saying once upon a time? Anyways, there was also, like, tier 3. Um, but that seems to have disappeared, and I only see, your regular powerful gear and powerful gear tier 2. But I'm still confused as to why even have that if it doesn't do anything. Um, oh yeah, matchmaking for PvE stuff. Turn that back on, please. I mean, you have it for like the lower tier stuff, but for things of, I guess, pinnacle gear needs, like 950 Nightfalls or the Sundial runs or anything like that, you've got matchmaking off, and it's kind of like you're doing this weird, or it's kind of like Bungie is doing this weird, like, social wall gatekeeping thing for, I don't really know why, but just to keep people out that don't have a dedicated clan or a group of people to play with, so forth and so forth. Boo-hoo, woe is me, solo guardian. Quit your bitching. But it is what it is, and it's ultimately not really like fair, especially for the PvE stuff. Now, I know that like raids, dude, that's in a league of its own. Even like the dungeons, I guess I could see is like a league of its own. Um, you could keep matchmaking off for those, but as far as like the Nightfalls go and the like Sundial events and any other of the like season PvE stuff that they're going to do, turn matchmaking on, man. Give us a chance at least to further ourselves beyond the soft level cap and, you know, just, yeah, give us a chance, damn it. Um, Now, the last two things I guess I'll touch on. The season pass bonuses, that little experience bar that, goes to 100 and gives you random items and bonuses and all. If they're going to keep it at if they're going to keep it at 100, then they should have all of the squares have something in them. Um, Maxing out 100 doesn't take long at all, especially if you have a ghost with guiding light on it, that gives you that 10% bump to experience. You can have that completely maxed out in 2-3 weeks maybe, and that's just casual play like me, where it's just I do it every day for like maybe an hour or two in the morning, maybe an hour after work, which is few and far between. And then, like, Saturdays and Sundays, I might play for 4 or 5 hours in the morning, and then maybe another hour or two in the evening, because I got shit to do, and that's really about it. But it's just too easy. Like, if you're gonna not fill in all the blanks, at least raise it to like 130 or 120, maybe even 150. But come on now, like 100's a bit easy to get to. The last thing I want to mention, and it's a touchy subject for Bungie themselves because I know they want to do it, but due to the game engine and the software and some other stuff, I guess they can't do it. But loot diversity, I know they can't have a loot pool like Borderlands or Diablo or something like that. It's really sad because a game like Destiny needs something like that, a huge diverse loot pool. Because I don't know if you've noticed or not, if you play multiple characters, I don't anymore, but I did long enough to figure this one out. Once you start getting into, well, any of the equipment, really, blues, legendaries, and except for the exotics, I'll give them that. The exotics are pretty well focused on the individual classes and their perks and so forth, but legendaries and blues, they all pretty much do the same damn thing stat-wise, but they'll be called a different name under a different class. Like, it'll be called something under a Titan, And then with your hunter, you'll be like, damn, this looks familiar. It'll have the same exact stats, look the same, but it'll call it something different. So kind of puts a damper on things. Um, and it's kind of disheartening to keep getting the same weapons over and over again with different stats on them, and you hope you get a good god roll or whatnot, but 9 times out of 10 you don't. And when you keep getting the same shit over and over again, even if there is an RNG attached to it, once you keep getting them over and over again, you basically run through what that RNG has to offer. And it's fighting stuff isn't anything anymore. It doesn't mean anything anymore except you get legendary shards now. So, you know, I think that what they need to focus on, what Bungie needs to focus on next with, we'll say Destiny 3, because we know it's going to happen, would be building it with either a new game engine or a heavily modified version of the current engine that allows for a diverse loot pool, like a Diablo-esque loot pool. I mean, it would give you way more of a reason to grind, way more stuff to make your character unique. It would mean a lot to everyone if Bungie could do that. Um, so let's hope that that's what they focus on. Like I said, I understand why they can't do it, just because of the restrictions of their current game engine or software or whatever the hell it is. Um, because I feel like if they could do it, they would, just to appease the fans and all. But yeah, that's probably, despite all the negative shit that I've said, the lack of diversity in the loot pool is probably the biggest letdown, complaint, whatever, I have with Destiny as a game. Um, Other than that, though, I really love the game. It's a love-hate relationship. It is, and for those of you that play Destiny, I know you understand where I'm coming from with that, because you probably have about the same relationship with it. I mean, let's be honest. Um, but yeah, anyways, sorry to rant for damn almost 23 minutes about this. Uh, but felt like I had to. Anyways, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel and or BitChute channel, whichever one you might be watching this on. We'll leave links to the other social media outlets that I use. Don't forget to follow me on there. Interact, like, I'm actually a pretty nice dude, believe it or not. I like interacting with people. So, yeah, just don't be scared. I know I probably seem like an asshole or something, but I'm not, I swear. But you all have a good one, and hopefully this next week is good to everybody, and I will probably make another video or two next weekend when I get home from work. Gonna be out of town again, probably will be out of town for the next, I don't even want to think, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, so go work, and everyone enjoy your games, enjoy your streams. I hope you guys are being successful this week. You break records, all that good stuff. But just have a good one, everybody, and I will talk to you later.